happening, y'all, and welcome. This is episode 123 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow, the number one Arrowverse podcast on Pornhub. I am your host, the self-knighted Sir Cussalott Travis Pointer, a.k.a. the Dragon King, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. T-Money, a.k.a. Sweet T, a.k.a. Black Merlin, a.k.a. the HNIC. And I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Mara, the Shark Watkins.
Hello there.
How you doing today, Mara?
Pretty swell. I took a COVID test today.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, that shit's not comfortable at all.
Oh, I've heard. But you did it. It's all good. You're done.
Yep. I'll just have to do it again next week.
That's even more fun.
Like it's every week.
Like you get to do it weekly. Like that's just, I don't know if it gets more exciting than that.
It's weekly probing.
And not even the good kind. So
yeah.
We're not here to talk about Mara's probing, though. We are here to talk about the Arrowverse on the CW. That would be Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, and now Stargirl. And for right now, it's just Stargirl because everything else is done. So we should go ahead and get into that. But before that, I want to let you all know it has been confirmed this past week that Stargirl will be getting a season 2. It has been confirmed. It has been ordered. All that good shit.
Woohoo.
So without that, there's nothing else, no other news or anything that I got. So let's get into the episode, which is called what?
Shiv Part 2. We wanted it. It came this week.
Did we? Did we want it? Because
Well, because remember last week I was saying, I was like, imagine if Part 2 would just come like later on, like some shows do, and now it was just a week after. But I'm glad because kind of wanted to see how that was going to conclude, and it still hasn't concluded.
Well, I say, there's no conclusion there. You just got more.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. There was a whole lot of stupid teenager going on this episode. And I feel like I owe some people an apology. Because last week I compared this group to the Power Rangers. And I just need to apologize because even though the Power Rangers were teenagers, they were never this stupid. They were never this fucking stupid. But these fools on this show, these dumbass teenagers. Jesus.
Well, because remember, the Power Rangers are a different generation. Would be technical. They would be in the generation, I believe, of whatever is right before millennial. Well, no, that's Boomer, right?
No, that's Generation X.
X, yeah, they're
Gen X teenagers. Here's the thing, though.
End of Gen X, beginning of millennial, like literally on the cusp of it.
Here's the thing, though. Teenagers are stupid no matter what generation they're from, though.
No, but it's a different kind of stupid.
Yeah, it's a different kind of stupid, but
because these
it's
are
still
Gen
stupid.
Z stupid. They're Gen Z stupid, which is dangerous stupid.
Yeah, they're Tide Pod eating stupid. You're right. Yeah, I'm still not letting that go. These dumb fuckers were eating Tide Pods.
Our only stupid was going from not having the internet to just having the internet.
Yeah,
we are created stupid by technology.
This is true.
We're just stupid by default.
Yeah, we don't really. You're right. We don't do a whole lot of stupid. We just send nudes.
Exactly. We just send nudes and want equal rights. Like that's all we want.
Yeah. Oh.
And
okay.
Did you just get sent nudes?
No, I didn't just get sent nudes. I did just get sent something. We can talk about that afterwards. Remind me, set like an alarm on your phone or some shit to remind me to tell you what I just got. Anyway, I'm not gonna remember. So it's just oh fuck. Still okay. Anyway. Back to what we were talking about. We were talking about this episode and stupid ass teenagers and they're not, that somehow seemed dumber than any other teenagers ever in existence. This episode kicks off. Pat's, it's nighttime. Pat's doing some driving. I'm like, oh, what's he doing? He seems to be enjoying the drive. That's odd because last week things were a bit concerning. So what's going on?
Danger.
Yeah. But then we see he like swerves the car and crashes into a pole. Like, what the fuck you do that for? So,
the second I saw it crash, and I was like, oh, I know what we're doing. We're covering tracks.
See, I didn't catch that at first. So I was just trying to I knew he was doing it for a reason. I just didn't know what the reason was.
I mean, at first glance, when the music started and you see Pat driving, for some reason I thought it was low key like a flashback, because some of the episodes of the last couple weeks have been starting that way, and I thought it was just going back to maybe where Pat was that night or something.
When I saw the crash, go ahead. Sorry.
And then it showed the crash, and then I was just like, actually, no, that kind of looks like Pat right now. So I was like, okay, so we're trying to explain Courtney's injury. Because I was just like, how do you explain her hand slashed if nothing has happened when her mom's back? That's why.
Yeah, there's a few things that popped into my head when it first happened. It didn't occur to me covering the tracks until like right afterwards when he called Barbara. But when it first happened, I was like, okay, so what's he doing driving down? Okay, he crashed into the pole. I'm like, well, maybe he's trying to like recreate what happened to Rick's parents or some shit. But like, no, they crashed into a tree. What the hell? I don't know.
And not at the risk of the Buick.
Yeah, exactly. And also, he wouldn't do that to the Buick. So I'm just like, that was after it occurred to me that maybe it was a flashback. And then I'm like, okay, so he rebuilt the Buick, and then he called Barb. I'm like, oh, okay. So anyway, to Barbara, who he called, who was at dinner with Jordan. What's up?
Yeah, I was gonna say because simultaneously they were showing Barbara at dinner with Jordan, and then back to Pat driving.
And there was no weirdness that happened. It was all the up and up. Strangely, because I definitely was not expecting that. He tells her though at the trip, like, I got to go meet with that friend I told you about. So he leaves. He has everything charged to his room, so he didn't dine and dash on it because that would have been fucked up. But yeah, Courtney's in the hospital. And we see, like you said, that Pat crashed the car to cover up what happened to Courtney. He tells, calls Barbara, tells her that, there was an accident. Everybody's okay, blah, blah, blah. But Pat's in the hospital talking to Courtney like, yo, we got to tell your mom. Like, we can't keep lying to her. This is not, going to go well for us, blah, blah, blah. And Courtney's like, no, you can't. She's going to take this away from me. You can't do that.
Which I agree. I agree with both. No, because it must make things think off alarms. Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't hear anything you said. You were breaking up. So.
Oh. Well, so what was the only thing you heard?
I heard you start talking, like and then you started just breaking up all through it. So I heard nothing.
Oh. I was saying that I agree that Barbara should know, but I also agreed that at that moment, it's not the time to tell her, because I feel like Barbara learning about all that stuff now, if she didn't know about ISA or JSA before, I feel like all upside down, it would become very evident at work, which would set off Jordan's alarms, but like, I agree only with Courtney that she shouldn't know right now, but not for the same reasons Courtney does. Because Courtney just wants it just so she can, continue being a superhero.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mean, Courtney is technically right. Like if she does say something, they say something to Barbara, Barbara's gonna like make her stop. So she doesn't want that. The whole Pat having to tell Barbara kind of thing is just like, do you have to?
Also because the lie that I don't think they have to. I feel like it's right that she should know what's going on so she's not too blindsided by it later on. Because we all know she's gonna find out eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I gonna say? Shit. And also because the only reason I think that they should tell her is because I feel like the lie that they are giving my bulb went out.
Oh,
the lie that they're giving it's a matter of time that they're giving
it did just get
also
slightly darker in your room.
The lie that they're giving, is also dumb as shit because like it was a bad lie from the beginning, from the get-go, the
teaching her to drive,
thing, as to why I hit. And I was like, that was bad from the get-go because now you're creating another issue and now how you explain it later without telling her about, everything that's going on, which is why I was just like, if they hadn't lied in the beginning, like, or had used that lie, I feel like there would have been an easier way to go around this and like delayed telling Barbara.
Yeah.
But shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Exactly.
Let me turn this off so this does not explode.
So then we get Cindy, down in the evil basement getting yelled at by her father because, she thought she did some big shit, but she really didn't do shit. Like, yo, you did all that, but then you didn't kill her. So now we got to clean up your mess because you didn't fucking kill her. You're like, but I beat her, but you didn't kill her.
And she was in the tunnels. Now you may never get a seat at the table.
Yeah, like she came all down in the tunnels and shit. You didn't tell me. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he says this line that I'm just like, well, what happens then? And he was like, do not make me remove my hood. And I'm like, what happens when you remove your hood, bro? Like, do I want to know? Yeah, I want to know.
I want to know, and I feel like we'll find out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But like, because I don't want to talk because I want to say it, but like I can't because we haven't gotten to that point in the episode yet.
Say it. It don't matter.
I was gonna say because like I want to know because now that we know a little bit more about Dr. Ito, or Ito, like later on in the episode, it's like you find out that dude is really fucking old, so he's done something to himself that has probably had the side effects of changing his exterior appearance. And I think it's something reptilian. And the only reason I think that is because it has something to do, because he's a chemist, so he's a scientist, so he would know how to learn all that stuff. And like I wouldn't be surprised if learning biology was not far off from his findings. And we all know that reptiles have like those certain like genes that everyone uses for like evil things. I don't know. I'm thinking of Dr. The lizard from
Spider-Man. Talking about Dr. Connors.
Yeah, Dr. Connors.
So your reason behind this is because he's an evil scientist, and evil scientists use reptiles.
And he's old as shit. He was executed in 47.
What does his age have to do with reptiles?
I don't know, something about like the regeneration thing. Like I'm just thinking like on the regenerating property that they try to use for like, I don't know which, there's like an animal, like if you cut off a limb, it can grow it back.
It's lizards. Yeah.
Yeah.
We cut off their tails and shit. You cut off their tail, they can grow another tail. It's like one of those, you get away from predators, like if a predator grabs them by the tail, they can like let the tail fall off and they can grow another tail.
Yeah, like I feel like that has something to do with like how he survives being executed, first of all.
Or the Namex on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Like Piccolo, he can like just snap his arm off and he can grow another one.
Nice.
But So yeah, there's that
You
whole
got
exchange.
where I was going with that, though.
Yeah. I was just fucking with you. So then we cut to these dumbass teenagers, and Rick just wants to go fuck some shit up. They're arguing with him like, "Yo, we can't just go off fighting right now because we don't know what we're dealing with," and all the logical arguments you would give somebody that just wants to run off and fight.
They didn't really fucking listen anyway.
Yeah, they all just jumped into the shit anyway. So yeah. Then we get they're back at the house, and Mike is feeling guilty about being a dick at the game the night before. He's like, "I'm sorry, I was jealous, even though I tell him I don't want him to come into stuff and doing stuff with me. He's still my dad, and I'm glad he's your dad because it means you're my sister."
Right, like he finally acknowledged what I said last week. I was like, but they're married, so like you guys are siblings, so that's her dad too now. Like
yeah.
I was like, that was such a weird ass argument, but I was like, I understood like where where the feeling was coming from, but it was like, bro, that argument is so invalid as of that marriage license.
Mm-hmm. It'd be different if they were still dating. Anyway, so I guess this is happening at the same time. Pat goes down to the basement and he's talking to the staff because
to ease tension between
he's
him
like,
and
yeah,
the staff.
apparently they didn't get along before. Like the staff just has no respect for Pat. And he was like, "Look, I just need you to do me a favor. If the danger's going on, like it looks like she's in real trouble. I need you to just get Courtney out of there and not bring her to more danger." And the staff really just doesn't acknowledge him at all. But then he leaves. But then it does a little glow thing real quick, like
I was like, yo, that staff is really listening. Like really is listening and comprehending what they are saying to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, that's fucking crazy. It's not, but it is. Like it's not for that universe, but like if I was living in that universe, I'd be like, that's mind blowing.
Yeah.
But then, so Barbara comes home post like that conversation, which is why it got cut short. And I feel like Barbara can.
Oh, that's disappointing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I feel like Barbara. Like, this goes back to what I just said like a couple minutes ago. Like I feel like Barbara can tell something is not right. Like I'm just like this driving lesson lie was such a bad idea because now I feel like Barbara is either questioning Pat's real capability to really be a parent here to make sense of things because she was just like, why on earth would her first driving lesson be at fucking night? Like,
the problem is that lie was not originally intended for Barbara. That was just to shut Mike up. Like that's all that was supposed to do. She just happened to hear them, and so they had to continue it with her. If it had just been Mike like they wanted it to be, it would have gone away because he'd have forgotten. But they ended up continuing it.
By then, he could have probably gone to Barbara, be like, "Hey, I want to just help Courtney with this." She said she was interested in this.
Mm-hmm. They could have come up with something a lot more plausible. Yeah.
But I was just like, now I feel like she's like, can I really trust my daughter with this dude? Like, because even when he was like, yeah, it was just a really bad idea. And I was like, Pat, like, this lie was a bad idea.
It certainly was.
But it's like, and then you can tell at one point, like, she's looking at Pat and the way his face is. And I guess he does not have a good poker face when he's trying to avoid the truth. Because she's looking at him like, something's not right here. Like he's not telling me something because she looked at him weird. And I was just like, see, now she knows something up. I bet you she knows something up.
Yeah. So
it's just going to push her right into Jordan's arms. God freaking damn it. Because I see it.
Speaking of Jordan, he's at some dude's house.
Riley.
Just sitting in his house when the dude gets home. Doing that creepy villain thing where you're just sitting in somebody's house in the dark.
Yep. Hot head of firebrand chemical.
So yeah, apparently this nigga been fucking up. Like, people getting killed, dumping dangerous chemicals all over the place, doing all kind of fucked up shit, which is like, okay, Jordan has a very complicated morality going on, Yeah, but they did all that, but then they built a school there. So it's just like,
And then because like he was talking about like his wife, and like that's what happened. So like now we kind of get an idea, like that's what's happening. That's what happened to. That's how she got sick and all that such. And I was like, see, like we talked about this last week. Like I feel like his end goal intentions are honorable, but it's the means that he's going through that are fucking evil. Because I feel
the
like
ends justify the means.
right, like I feel like everyone could get on board with, hey, yeah, we should not build schools on top of places where we are dumping toxic chemicals, or we should just not be dumping toxic chemicals. You know, I feel like the entire country can get behind that. But I mean, I guess murdering everyone who runs these companies also works. I mean, I don't know. The morality is askew.
He's not even just murdering the people that are running those companies. He's also murdering his own people who just don't agree with his tactics. So it's just, it's yeah. And he's killing children also. Don't forget he got a little boy hit by a bus or by a truck or whatever the fuck he got him hit by. Yeah.
I think it was a bus.
Well, they were on a bus. I think he got hit by a truck because he fucked up the bus and they got off the bus and then.
Oh yeah, and then a pickup truck swerved into the way. Like when you said truck, I was thinking like a Mack truck, and I was like, no, I don't think it was that, but it was a passenger truck. But I wonder how Icicle got his powers, or how he discovered that he had them.
That's a good question.
Like I'm kind of wondering, like, of the ISA, like, do they have these powers like by chance, like by birth, or do they have them because of like failed experiments, because of a drug, evolution?
I'm sure it's a variation, just like the Justice Society.
Yeah. And also like, because like I was thinking, like, you know how Jefferson Pierce has his from a vaccine, you know, and then his kids have it by like genetics. So like that's what I was kind of wondering, because I know on some level they're eventually going to bring Stargirl into the rest of them. I'm just trying to pull that little tiny string that I can see. How are we going to pull this in here? I'm not going to believe that what's his face is about to come up again and be like, there's another crisis among us. Now I need you, Stargirl. Like, I don't see that happening again. Like,
yeah. I don't see that happening either. I mean, they can't be. They're all on the same Earth now. So,
Oh, yeah, true. But yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
However, what we learn, from Crisis on Two Earths, that every decision that people make creates an alternate Earth. So
do you think that
they all got combined
still?
They all got combined onto one Earth, but every decision that was made since then may or may not have created alternate Earths.
So we may have another multiverse again.
Yeah. I mean, that's an easy out,
But we'll see.
Like it was an easy, like them combining them all was a very easy way to get them all on the same Earth, and then now they can still have a multiverse by the fact that every decision made creates an alternate Earth. So kind of a way to have your cake and eat it too,
Yeah, I got you.
But anyway, back to this particular show.
Sorry.
No problem. What's Henry's his name? He's going through some shit with his powers. Like he's just
fully manifesting.
Yeah, he's not ready for it because he don't know what's going on at all.
Could you imagine though, like your dad's, like your only living parent is like in the hospital, like in a coma, and you are having and because his dad's like was his dad a psychiatrist or just like a brain doctor?
It's a good question. I don't remember, but
because I feel like he was some kind of doctor, but I feel like it would only make sense that he was something of like the brain or the head.
Yeah.
Because of his specialty. But like, you would think like your parent would be the one to be able to take care of this, and he can't.
Well, on
And
top of that, remember he had those scenes when his father was asking him, like, what am I thinking, or something like that, like all the time, kind of testing him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he probably has that in the back of his head too. Like, he must know what's going on. This must be why he was doing that.
Mm-hmm. And then like not knowing like what's going, and then not knowing about all that stuff. Like, I would be sitting there probably thinking like, oh my God, my brain's about to physically explode. I'm probably having like a crazy aneurysm or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then to find out it's just like you're just moving medicine pills and hearing people's thoughts. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's
like,
all.
That's all.
Oh, okay, this is okay. I can deal with this.
Mm-hmm. Once I can get control over it, because I don't want to be constantly hearing everybody's thoughts.
Facts. Fuck that shit.
That'll blow my, like, just, no, I can't handle that shit. You think you want to know what people are thinking. You don't. The rest of the crew does some dumb shit. Let's talk about, because we were talking about this earlier, how stupid these motherfucking teenagers are.
From this point forward, this episode attacked my mental health.
Let's
I hope you hear this, Greg. You've attacked my mental health, and I was not okay with this.
Like, okay, so first of all, their brilliant plan is that Rick and Yolanda,
yes, and
are gonna hang back, hiding in the bushes, like across the street or some shit, while Beth goes and knocks on the door.
To get into Cindy Berman's house.
To get into the house and somehow get information.
And I feel like in hindsight, I think it's that they thought this would work because it worked for her getting to Courtney. And I was like, yeah, that's one thing. But if you're dealing with like a villain,
wait, it worked for what?
Remember when Beth just showed up at Courtney's house trying to get information? That's what I'm saying. Like, this sounded like this was more of Beth's suggestion, because she was like, this worked on me getting into Courtney's house, about how I found out about, Stargirl and Wildcat. And I feel like they applied the same logic to Cindy Berman.
As stupid teenagers would do.
Right. Because, like, thinking from the outside looking in, I'm just like, you're dealing with a villain now. Like, this is a completely different set of rules. Like, yeah, Courtney's not going to full on attack you because she's a good, quote unquote, she's a good guy. Or like she's on the good side of trying to keep everyone safe. If you went, like, after I was like going to Cindy's house, I was just like, but if you get caught, Cindy can kill you. Like, if you already suspect that Cindy is capable of this to some degree, like, why would you go in there with no formal training that they acknowledged earlier? Homeboy only has a strength for an hour. Like, and if you use it the wrong time, then what's that? What if you get caught by someone else who's even worse than Cindy? Like, I was like, y'all didn't think this through at all. Like at all.
Yeah. So Pat sees what's going on. He's like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing? And runs up to the door and ends up going into the house with Beth, where the stepmother has let them in. She's full on, like, what was the thing when the wives, like, had no thought process of their own? What was that movie? I can't remember. But anyway,
I wanted to say The Handmaid's Tale, but like,
no, that wasn't it. It was like they like brainwashed them. Forgot what the fuck it was. Anyway, he brought him in. She's like, seems like she's not like really her own person, because we saw that before last week. But this is like further confirmed it.
Yeah, I feel like she is. I felt like she was one of those like people things that Dr. Ido has downstairs, but just as like a human female.
As his wife, doing the wifely duties.
I was like, that's so fucked up.
Mm-hmm. And she said she used to like. Go ahead.
Oh, I was like, the only reason I thought that was because when Beth was wearing the goggles and like it couldn't identify her, I was like, nah, not even at all. I was like, she's not a real person.
Well, she
She just
said
has.
she used to do I forgot what she said she used to do for a living or something like that. And then she became, a wife and mother. She's a homemaker or whatever. So I think she used to, she had, she actually, I think she was a person. He just did something to her. And it doesn't explain why the goggles couldn't identify her.
Why? That's what I'm saying. Like it would, like it's able to pull up everything. It's able to see through cabinets for God's sakes and see if there's 12 bottles of wine and they're just closed, which I think is a waste of wine. But I digress.
I mean, the wine's not going to waste. Clearly, Cindy is drinking it when she gets home. So
that's wasted on a teenager, which is even bigger waste.
This is true. You're right. I take that back. Complete waste.
But yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like it's not just, I feel like, because he could have easily imprinted those memories into her brain to make her come off as humanistic to visitors and such.
I love how we're watching a show where we're talking about how that could easily happen. Like you're saying that, like that's just the kind of show we're watching where someone could easily just implant some memories into somebody. But anyway, while this is all going on, Cindy shows up at Courtney's house. She starts off by apologizing for the way she acted at the game.
And I started genuinely thinking for a moment, I was like, maybe Cindy really is this dumb. But then I was like, she can't. Like,
the more she talked, the more it was like, the more she talked, more it was like, she must know. Like, there's no way she doesn't know. And she kept going. Like, in the way she was asking the question she was asking or saying the thing she was saying is like, she's doing this on purpose. There's no way she's not doing this on purpose.
Because I was like, this is, because I feel like you could see the gears turning like on Courtney's face, just kind of just like, I honestly can't tell. And like, she did a really good job because for like 5 seconds, you start thinking like,
maybe she doesn't know. And then she, especially when she hit you with that, I really need a friend right now line, you know?
Right. I was like,
wait a minute.
I think this is more like when my anxiety started kicking in because I was trying to figure, like, I'm over here trying to distinguish whether, like, what's happening here. And then Beth came across the tunnel door and I was like, Beth, don't do this.
Well, see, here's the thing. As soon as Beth said she needed to go to the bathroom, I was done with them. All right. I'm like, you know what? I no longer care what happens to y'all. You know what? You might all die right now and I don't care anymore.
Because I was just like, like that whole plan just like was dumb. Because when she was going into the lair, I was just like, you don't think they wouldn't realize that you were gone for this long? Like, you know how, like, it was so weird. I was like, what if she walked into the kitchen and noticed that the door was open, you know? And then on top of that, when she went down the stairs into the tunnel and then realized she lost connection and then kept going. And I was just like, Beth, what are you doing?
Teenagers are fucking stupid.
Immediately
when that happens, you go back where you got a signal.
Right. I was just like, what are you doing? This is not a good idea. This is not a good idea at all. That moment, I was like, this show has already shown they will not shy away from murdering children. Get out. Exactly. Get out now. I was like, oh my God.
No, get up out of there. You know where it is now. You can come back some other time. But right now, you are down there by yourself and you can't fight. All right?
Right. With no formal training.
Yeah.
And then to not even go back into the common area to add more insult to injury, she goes to Cindy's room.
And here's my thing. She goes up into the room.
Chuck immediately says, we really should not go in there.
Yeah, what did she say at that point? I forgot what she said, and I was just like, fuck you.
She said, I was not coming, I can't not, something about she couldn't not leave without anything. Like, she couldn't leave without getting something. That
they found a secret lair in the basement. Get the fuck out. That's what it was.
What I say. Like, I was surprised. Like, and I was like, how did you get upstairs so fast without anyone seeing or hearing you? Like, I was like, what was Pat doing to keep her that distracted? I was just like, this is not good
Well,
at all.
we saw what Pat was doing to keep her distracted. He was
Eventually.
he was underneath the sink doing manly things, and she was just like, "Oh, let me ride that handyman dick." Like that's what was happening. You saw her like
I was so uncomfortable.
I was just like, "Oh, okay. I saw this porno before." And so yeah, the goggles can't identify the stepmom. We saw that. She sees a secret entrance. So
in between this time though, we did learn that Yolanda has an Android and that Courtney does not know how to be patient with text messages.
Wait, go back to Yolanda having an Android.
Yeah.
What do you mean? How do you know that?
Because Courtney was texting her from an iPhone, and when the messages are green like that, it means she's texting someone who does not have an iPhone.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've heard that before.
And then Courtney couldn't wait 3 seconds for.
And here's the thing. I think the reason why I didn't notice that is because I didn't look closely enough to see who it was she was texting. I just knew it was one of them. So yeah, okay, I got you.
Oh, okay, yeah. She like texted Yolanda trying to be like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? I'm bored." And then she was like, "Have you seen Pat?" And then 0.5 seconds later, Yolanda ? And I was like, "Bitch, chill."
Mm-mm-mm.
It's like Saturday or something. Like she's like, or Sunday or something. Like
it's either Saturday or Sunday. Either way, yeah, one of those days they don't go to school. It's one of those.
I was like, you need to relax. And then all of a sudden, while they're in the house, so while Cindy's there, Cindy's leaving. Cindy goes, "Oh, by the way, nice staff, Stargirl." And I was like, "Yep, I fucking knew it. Mm-hmm. I fucking knew she knew." And you know, it's crazy. I knew there was no way she couldn't not know. And then she was like, "You thought I couldn't tell behind that dumb mask?" And I was just like, I keep telling y'all, these masks don't do nothing if you're not going to change your fucking voice.
It only works for Jefferson Pierce because he has little staticky glow shit around his face to make sure you can't look directly at him. Like, if other people don't do that, you're kind of fucked. Barry did it for a while. He just stopped doing it. Like, he did the whole thing and made his face vibrate whenever he talked to somebody. Oliver changed his voice because you got to do that shit. Everybody else is just like, Like Kate Kane kind of changed her voice, but not really. She like kind of did like try to do a bit of a deeper voice, but it still just sounded like her.
No, like it's not going to do shit. Like you don't really have anything to block your face otherwise. If you're not going to change your voice, the mask does nothing. It doesn't help that her hair is beach blonde and curly, and she keeps it the same way when she's in her costume.
Hanging out of the mask, like, hey, look at my hair that I always have when I'm at school with you.
Right? Like, I mean, tie it up in a bun, put it in a ponytail. I don't know, do like whatever the superheroes do that like somehow crazy straighten your hair really quick.
Do like Mr. Terrific, aka Curtis, used to do and braid your shit real quick, you know? When you know you're about to get into a fight, you pick up your phone, call Barry. Actually, no, he probably called Wally because Wally probably didn't want to know how to braid hair. Call Wally, have Wally come braid your hair real quick, and then you run out there and you fight. Do something.
Exactly.
And it's funny, though, because we always assume, like, because I remember we talked about this before, about how Mr. Terrific got his hair braided. We like it was probably Wally, not Barry, because, you know, Wally probably know. But the thing is, Barry married to Iris, though. So Iris taught him how to braid her hair. So maybe it was Barry.
Or Iris don't know how to braid either.
Maybe.
I also am cursed with that affliction of I don't really know how to cornrow either. Like I want whoever's braiding Curtis's hair to teach me, because that's the only thing I need in my arsenal. I learned how to braid hair. I'll never go get my hair done ever again. I will just do my hair myself.
Yeah, I remember back in high school in my long luxurious hair days, looking for somebody to braid my hair. It was always like my mom could do it. You know, she was very capable of doing it. My sister-in-law could do it. The problem was it was hard getting a hold of her. then there was just like, there were girls at school that wanted to do it, but I'm like, I don't know if I can trust you.
Only person touching my hair is my mama.
Basically. But they wanted to do like different shit, like, different designs and shit. She just always would braid it straight back. But that was fine with me. But I'm like, I don't know if I can trust y'all. You haven't seen those pictures, have you?
Nope.
I'll have to find one. There's one from high school, like the fro all the way out, and it was, whew.
I feel like a lot of the older photos of you I've seen, I think you have hats on.
Yeah, I've always been a hat person. But anyway, so while they're in there, Bet finds the picture of what's the evil scientist's name?
Brainwave? Oh, Dr. Ito.
Yeah, him.
Ito.
Whatever, either way. And, she finds that. Cindy gets back home. She, Beth gets out because Yolanda, like, knocks on the window, grabs her, throws her out, tosses her down to Rick. Yolanda hides on the roof.
In here screaming, like, oh my God, get out, Beth, get out.
She can't get out. You know why? Because she has no actual skill.
Like when Chuck was sitting here giving like the information about Dr. Ito, I was just like, you can do this on the go, or you can wait, take the photo, take this, like, be like, Chuck, please tell me this in like 30 minutes. Like
all the things that Chuck can do. You think Chuck can't take a screenshot?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Chuck, take like a digital screenshot. Talk to me about this later, please. Just get the fuck out. Like, and then when it's funny because I was watching it with Luna, and I think Luna could pick up the energy that was coming from me, because then she sees Cindy getting out of the car and she starts going, oh no, and I was like, exactly, Luna, exactly. And then so when they're like tinkering on the window, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm like, exactly, you get it. The 4-year-old gets it, and she's watching it from off of 5 minutes.
Yeah. The 4-year-old is smarter than these fucking teenagers.
Generation Alpha is doing way better than Generation Z right now.
Oh, man.
That is what our kids are called.
Oh, is that what they're called?
Generation Alpha. Because we're out of the alphabet. Now we're in Greek letters.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Henry's got some brainwave stuff going on.
Again.
Yeah, so that's still happening. He finds all his father's stuff though in that little hidden compartment room thing, along with like a picture of Cindy and a letter. Basically Cindy's father.
She's been watching him.
Yeah. And because Courtney's fucking stupid, she runs down and grabs the staff because she says her friends are in trouble. She's got to go help. So she runs downstairs and grabs the staff and takes off. Boom. Another Cindy Stargirl fight. They beating the shit out of each other. Henry shows up. He's hearing their thoughts. Cindy's trying to get him to help her. He's all fucked up in the head. He's hearing their thoughts. He's just like, this is not going well. He does some kind of crazy brainwave blast, sends them both flying. Cindy gets up. She gets snatched up by a bunch of her father's minions. He finds Stargirl like, yo, where the fuck is Cindy? What?
I was like, because they're literal minions.
Yeah.
Only the little yellow guys get a little bit more audio than they do.
So, Henry goes and finds Courtney on the ground. He's like, yo, where the fuck is Cindy? He starts hearing, the thoughts. He realizes that that's Courtney.
And then, like, I was trying to understand, because it almost for, like, a moment, because, like, I know that, like, he's hearing her, but, like, is he also hearing himself, or was Courtney hearing him, or are they just telling us what he was thinking?
They're just telling you what he was thinking, I think.
Okay, because I was sitting here, like, I was getting very confused. I was just like, is Courtney also hearing his thoughts? Like, I was like...
What's the thing? They did a confusing thing where, like, at the same time when he was hearing her thoughts, you were hearing his also, and he was speaking out loud.
And she's also thinking out, and she's also speaking out loud as well.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of that happening at the same time. I think all of the thinking part is happening in his head. Or he actually may have been talking to her like in her head too, because Brainwave could do that too. So,
and he doesn't realize, and he doesn't know how to control it, so he
right.
doesn't even realize that he's doing it. Because I thought he said like he thought that she could also hear him or something like that, or whatever he was doing. I know she said, "Oh shit, he can like hear my thoughts," but like I was just like, I don't know. It just kind of felt like for a moment that like she could also hear him, but you were just saying like he could have been putting them there and not realizing that he was doing it before he like ran off. It was such a weird progression of thoughts.
Definitely.
But yeah. I low-key feel like, I don't know. I feel like Henry's not going to really be on board with ISA.
No, I don't think so either. I think he'll like participate reluctantly at first, and he may be the reason why the JSA prevails. Like he'll help at the last minute or something to stop them, whatever they're doing.
Yeah. Like I feel like they will like, because now Dr. Ito knows that that Henry has his powers. So like I could see them like trying to recruit him aggressively and trying to get him in on things to help them. And then like you said, like last minute, him being like, you know what? This ain't good. This is not good. This is not what I want to do. I just want to play football or whatever sport it is that he plays.
Yeah. I think it's football. Even though he does kind of give off a lacrosse vibe.
Season. He does. But the season that we're in, it would be football.
I mean, it's football season. Yeah, they had the homecoming dance and all that kind of shit was happening. So yeah, that makes sense. But he still gives off a lacrosse vibe.
Well, I mean, it's like football with sticks.
Yeah, but
it's specifically
there's a very specific kind of person that plays lacrosse though. Like I know him. I went to high school with him, and and it's just like you know the lacrosse people. So man, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with lacrosse people. I'm just saying you know a lacrosse person. That's all. But yeah, that was Stargirl. Who's winning, Mara?
I guess Jordan.
That's a good one. I was going to say Cindy's father.
Well, or we could just go with ISA.
Yeah.
Like it's like half a point for them, I guess, because like they know that Henry has his powers, which is pretty much like a win for them.
Well, it's not a they, because Cindy's father knows. The rest of them don't know yet.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. And then the only reason I say for Jordan, because he got rid of the Ed Riley guy.
Yeah.
The only reason I know his name is Ed is because so Jordan confronted him as Mr. Riley, but then when he tried to leave and Icicle gave him freezer burn on the doorknob, the captions on DC Universe says Ed groans in pain, and I was just like, his name is Ed. Why did Ed Riley? I was like, why did we give him a first name and not acknowledge it?
Well, there may have been, more to that scene where they do say his first name. They just cut that part.
Oh, okay. Because I thought that was so funny. Like I was just like
that happens a lot though. Like there's characters. Like how many times you watch shows though, with the subtitles on, and they say somebody's name in the subtitles, their name is never said out loud on the show. It happens.
I think it's so funny because it's just like you wouldn't how some people there's a divide between people who hate watching things with subtitles and people who love / need to watch things with subtitles. They will never agree on it. Like just it's like trying to.
There's no coming together there. You're right. You're absolutely right. I am the latter. Only thing I don't watch with subtitles is wrestling because they always fuck it up.
Oh yeah, I don't watch anything that's like alive going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like that. It's always off. It never lines up for me. Like, have you ever tried watching the news with captions?
No.
It is so frustrating.
No, I feel like I'm sure it'll go the same way they do like with wrestling. It seems like sometimes they're making words up.
Yeah. Like someone, all I'm picturing is someone in an office, like aggressively watching this, aggressively trying to keep up.
Yeah.
Like with the captions, and like there's just typos that just
Yeah,
go
you're
in.
seeing like that's not a sentence. Like
That's not what he said. That's not even close.
Like those aren't the words he was saying. But
to my point was that like no, like imagine like those shows or like those movies or something like that where they give someone a name, but then like they never mention it. So it's like if you didn't use captions, you'd never know their name. But then if you do, it's like I feel like having captions, I have like this little tiny piece of knowledge that someone else doesn't. But that's just me. I'm weird like that.
mm-hmm. All right.
Who's losing?
Yeah.
Cindy.
Indeed. Got her ass whooped twice in a row. This is
right.
the second week in a row she got her ass whooped.
Her dad
you need a team, Cindy. You need to stop trying to go out there by yourself. Starman was part of a team for a reason.
And then on top of that, like she's out in the street in front of their house. Like, you know, he's tight. He's like, you bringing attention here. Not now. Look at you. Like, I also noticed like the nod that the sewer door is Blue Valley Development or whatever the group that Jordan runs is, like his company. I was like, that didn't fall upon me. I did notice that. I don't know. It just kind of felt like, look, this is how ingrained into the city he's getting, or into like everything he's getting. Like he's homie got like the sewers changing, but like, yeah, Dr. Ito was about to.
Did you know Supermarket Sweep was on Netflix?
That's the game show, right?
Supermarket Sweep, yeah.
Where they like run to the store with the groceries. Oh shit! I thought it was on Hulu.
Nope, it's on Netflix.
I think it used to be on Hulu.
Maybe, but anyway, yeah.
Wait, is it a remake of it, or is it the old one?
It's the old one.
Oh, okay.
Classic episodes.
Cool.
Yeah. One of my friends just texted me with the link because they felt I needed to know that. I'm not sure why.
I don't want to watch that because the price of groceries has inflated aggressively, and I don't want to be reminded of what it was like when I was 4.
Yeah. I think I've never watched Supermarket Sweep before. This friend has never heard me mention anything about Supermarket Sweep before, I don't think. So I don't know why they thought I needed to know. But
maybe because The Floor is Lava, like old games like that are kind of being reintroduced.
Have you watched The Floor is Lava?
Oh, Luna is a crackhead for it. I love it.
I love that dumbass show, Mara.
She's just like, the floor is lava. It's so hot. And I was just like, yes, yeah.
That's awesome.
She loves it.
All right, so we got 2 things. We got, Late Night with Elmo, and we got The Floor is Lava.
But yeah, also another thing she's loving.
Also
another thing she's loving.
All right, I think that'll be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Do not forget, you can follow us on both Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia World. Once again, if you don't know how to spell world, get a goddamn dictionary. You can follow us on both.
Google is free.
Yeah, there's that too. You can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/creationworld. Told you how to spell that already. You can also find me on both Twitter and Instagram at Sir_Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT. Mara, where can they find you?
Twitter and Instagram at Mara the Shark. That's MARADASHARK.
Yes. Also, don't forget, support us on Patreon. That's, how we pay the bills around here. Patreon.com/creationworld. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will once again put the link in the description here. Not enough of you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Once again, I think it is hilarious how we get more views on Pornhub than we do on YouTube, but still, subscribe to the YouTube, please. Please, it's free. Just click the little red button that says subscribe. Just click it, clickety click. Or tap if you're on your phone.
Bing.
You know? Yeah, that. I think that'll
we
be
have
it,
a Facebook group for this show as well.
Oh, we sure do. What's that group?
Groups. Facebook.com/groups/SuperFlashArrow tomorrow. We keep trying to put memes in there, but we're running out of material because nothing's on.
Yeah. And Stargirl isn't all that memeable right now.
Not yet.
Yeah, they need a little bit more time, so we got some like running jokes and shit that we can use, but they're not as memeable.
I think once they address who Courtney's actual father really fucking is, I think we'll get some meme-worthy phases.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
Horrible. I'm sorry.
Shh, we're supposed to say that out loud. We'll catch you all next week. Until then, we out.
Bye.
Well, hello there. You thought that was the end of the show? I mean, we thought so too. We had finished recording, everything was wrapped up. I was getting ready to put it all together and post it. But then something happened. Something we couldn't ignore. We found out who our new Batwoman is. You know, they could have told us before we started recording, you know? They could have told us the day before. They could have told us the hour before. You know, they could have even told us while we were recording.
Why would they, though?
Instead, they chose, you know, to wait till we were done, like a couple hours later, and say, hey, guess what? And I said, hey, fuck you. But anyway, let's talk about it. We got a new Batwoman, Mara.
Woo!
So, Javicia Leslie. Do you know Javicia Leslie at all?
Nope. Are we certain that's how you pronounce her name?
Nope.
Okay. So it's that or Javicia?
Either way, I've only seen it written. She starred in a show called God Friended Me on CBS. I've seen a few episodes of that show. Like, I watched the first few, and then I forgot that the show existed, so I stopped watching it.
Is that a sitcom?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh.
Basically, it's about a dude who gets a friend request on Facebook, and it's an account that's claiming to be God, and like he gets like, you know, he helps him to help other people that need help and all that kind of stuff, and you know, it was actually like pretty interesting. I enjoyed it. I just forgot that it existed.
How long ago did that come out?
Last year.
Oh.
I think. I could be wrong. This happened once before.
I was going to say that it sounded older than it probably is.
Yeah, it was, I want to say it was last year. It might have been the year before. I'm not sure. But like I said, I kind of remember her from that show, but I remember very little from that show. I only saw a few episodes of it, then just forgot all about it. But yeah, she's here. She's going to replace Ruby Rose. She's playing
You want the character name?
Yeah.
Ryan Wilder.
Ryan Wilder is her name. Okay. Wilder. Interesting last name if you all watch The Runaways, but that's Marvel, by the way. Don't worry. That's not connected. Huh?
I knew that.
Oh, I wasn't talking just to you. I was just, you know, anybody who's listening, just saying, you all don't worry. I wasn't connecting it to
more
anything.
Stuff you gotta watch.
No, it's not more stuff you gotta watch, and I'm not making the mistake of connecting this to a Marvel show. Calm down. But yeah, when she found out, she gave a statement. Says, "I am extremely proud to be the first Black actress to portray the iconic role of Batwoman on television. And as a bisexual woman, I am honored to join this groundbreaking show, which has been such a trailblazer for the LGBTQ plus community." So we got a new Batwoman. She's a black woman.
I hope she keeps the fro.
Then I was just gonna say that too, with that fro, and I want that fro on full blast while she's in that bat suit. Like, even if it's not black, like what if she got like a big ass red fro?
I'm okay with that.
Underneath that bat suit. Like, oh, that would be dope.
However, I'm gonna change this soon, so.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we just had to come back and talk about that because we couldn't, just ignore it. What are your thoughts? You just, you're happy to see it, don't care, unhappy? What you think?
I think this is a very interesting direction, but I like the direction it's going in. I feel like it's very representative in very different ways. I'm kind of curious to see what Ryan Wilder would be like, as they describe her as likable, messy, a little goofy, and untamed. And that sounds like me. And therefore, I feel like for the very first time, I think in a full 100%, I feel like I'm watching myself fully represented in a show. And that makes me feel happy.
I feel you.
As a Black woman of the LGBTQ community who is also those different traits, I was like, ah.
That's dope.
So I feel very represented for once. And it's not to say like I've never felt represented before, but I feel like to have everything kind of match.
They check all the boxes, yeah.
I was just like, holy shit, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see this.
Mm-hmm.
Batwoman's going to stay on Sundays, though, so great. Still have to work on the Lord's Day.
Yep, 8 p.m. Eastern when the show returns in January, they say. All right. So that's it for real for Super Flash Arrow tomorrow.
We're not going to come back after this.
I'm not going to add anything more. We're not going to pop up again and be like, hey, one more thing. No, we're not doing that. That's the end.
Don't wait for the 5 minutes to be like, oh, yeah, look, we got you. No.
Nah, that's it. We'll catch you all next time. Until then, we out.
Bye.